Hi everyone. Think about that moment when your order gets confirmed on your favorite food delivery app, or that sense of relief when you see that blue tick after you've sent your share of the bill. These tiny moments of animation aren't just there for decoration, they are thoughtful pieces of design that guides, reassures, and delights us. Hi, I'm Robin, and together let's explore the fascinating world of animation. It's all about understanding how motion can enhance functionality, delight users, and bring your designs to life. So that begs the question, animation and design, do they go hand in hand? Animation plays a very critical role in the product life cycle. It's not just about making things look pretty. It also helps in improving usability, providing feedback, and build emotional connect through beautiful and meaningful experiences. Now let's talk about the why. Why does animation matter in product design? Number 1, feedback. Feedback helps in visually communicating system responses and states, enhancing the user's understanding of their interactions. Number 2, usability and experience. With the right use of animations and transitions, we can make our product look more intuitive, feel more humane, and generally clearer to use. One of the more bigger examples are these slide buttons that you see. These might seem very intuitive, it might seem very fun to use, but there is much more deeper meaning of why it is there. It helps in giving a very better sense of confirmation, which reduces accidental touches. Number 3, animation evoke a sense of emotional connect. It helps building an emotional connection with the users. It enhances user experience through engagement, delight, and intuitiveness. One big example is this blue tick that you see whenever you try to send money, right? It gives you a feel of relief. It gives you confirmation that the money has gone, right? It engages with your feeling as well. Now, while we move on, like there are certain principles of animation that we need to understand. In 1981, Disney animators Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas published The Illusion of Life, Disney animation. They introduced 12 principles of animation, of which I'm just going to refer to only a few. I will put the link of it down in the description. You can check it out. It's very awesome set of principles. These principles, they masterfully combine the fundamental laws of physics with cognitive psychology, creating animations that are not only believable but also connects emotionally and is very engaging. The first principle that I would like to discuss is the squash and stretch animation principle of animation. It when it is applied well, it gives a sense of weight and flexibility to objects and even to people, which can give a very much tactile feeling when it comes to UI design, right? um, for example, giving a squash very tiny compression effect to a button will help users to give visual feedback, and also will give a sense of tactile feeling to the button itself. Second, anticipation. It is basically the preparation for the main action that will happen in a scene. In terms of UI design, it could be hover effects or subtle movements before a major transition you know you know occurs, which will help users to prepare for what's coming next. Third, timing. Using the correct timing allows you to control the mood and reaction of a characters or objects. In terms of UI design, we have to be very careful in considering the speed of animation. Too fast and you might just miss it. Too slow, then it might just feel very laggy, right? Faster animations works well with small elements like a button or hover interactions, while larger, timed animations may work for transitions. Another aspect which is very much tied to timing is easing in and out, or slowing down. It is basically basically mimics the natural acceleration and deceleration of objects. Applying these effects, the easing in and out, helps your animation to make them feel more natural and humane, right? Elements should ease into their final position rather than moving at a constant speed, which might feel very, unnatural and very linear in that matter. Now let's move on to the types of animation. The first one, micro interactions. These tiny animations are there for feedback. They help in recognizing if there is a state change. For example, when you interact with the like button on Instagram, it changes the color, right? These kinds of micro interactions are more than aesthetics. They provide feedback, they communicate state changes and reassures the users that the system is working as expected. Number two is transitions. A smooth transition can help the user understand where they are in their user journey, right? We have seen the very obvious sense of transitions when one goes from a page to the other one. The other sense of transitions is basically having loader animations. These helps the user to uh, understand where they are in that particular state, like if it's loading or not, instead of having a blank page, right? These help give an understanding that a user is somewhere in their journey. The next type of animation are basically feedback indicators. These animation confirm an action. For example, when you have updated certain details, a check mark comes, or like shown here, like basically a very quick animation to show that something has been deleted, right? These are very, again, the example that I just quoted is very obvious sense of feedback indicators. A perfect example, another example is basically Duolingo. How they use the mascot to deliver feedback, or encouragement or clarity while they are learning a particular language. Now let's explore what I call the great gap. Till now we explored why animations needs to go beyond aesthetics, the fundamentals of animations, the principles of animations, right? And the types of animations, how animations could be created beautifully, right? But ideas alone aren't enough. The real challenge for most teams is making sure these carefully crafted animations survive the jump from the tools that where animations are made to production itself. This is where, we see the fight between designers and developers happening, right? It often shows that gap that I was talking about, right? And nowadays there are multiple tools that have come, like Rive, for example, one of the biggest examples, right? Where you could create animations based on interactions, and then developers can export those animations to code, right? Spline uses similar aspect, right? But in for 3D based animations, right? uh, Hana is also a good competitor to Rive, right? Where interaction based animations can be created and can be exported to to code, right? Hana actually has also brought the splines 3D element to into Hana, right? Rive, till now, at least from what I know, Rive does not have 3D support, but then now Hana has implemented the splines 3D support, so you could now have 3D based 3D interaction based animations. So in all these things, right, I would just like to give some tips when you are crafting your animations, right? Understand the requirement. Every animation should have a purpose, right? We cannot just make animation just for the sake of it. Again, it's not aesthetic. It's not just for aesthetic at all, right? Without you know understanding the requirement, the animation could overshadow the user experience itself. stay consistent. Inconsistent motions feel chaotic and out of place, which can overwhelm users. Like I mentioned, the timing of an animation is very important. Too fast and you might not just catch it, right? Or too slow, then it might feel very laggy, right? The next is rely on the principles of animation. Like these are a godsend, to be honest, right? These help in making your animation more humane, right? More genuine, and it might help you to make it more engaging, right? So rely on the principles of animation, and above all, design and animation goes parallelly, right? It's not a side process that is there. It should be very much integrated within the product development life cycle, right? Because every decision we take about the animation, it will help enhance the user experience of a particular product. So in conclusion, animation is a very powerful tool. They bridge the gap between static or stale interfaces and make interfaces more dynamic, more engaging. When used properly, motion simplifies complexity, guides users, and brings joy to digital experience. So, if this inspired this small talk or this small time with me that you have spent, if this has inspired you to bring motion into your designs, interact with that like button and subscribe, and also share in the comments what's that favorite example where you felt that the animation done in a particular product it was done well, it was done right. It could be a like button being like giving you a sense of joy. It could be that tick mark, but then don't use the examples that I've given, right? If you have very unique, then definitely put it down. It could inspire other designers who are watching this to explore animation. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Robin, and stay tuned for more design deep dives, and again, thank you for tuning in. Have a good day.